Bluey's show is loved by millions of people around the world. But did you know that a celebrity from Animal World shows once made a major appearance in one of the episodes? This happened in the episode The Quiet Game, where the character Alfie, the one we see being dropped off by his mom on his first day of work, finally figures out what the girl's mime meant. And it's actually the voice actor of Alfie who is the Australian personality in question. We're talking about Robert Irwin, who stars in the Animal Planet show Crikey, carrying on the legacy of his father, Steve Irwin, the legendary Australian crocodile hunter.
Hey mate, are you his boss?
Yes.
Well, he's a legend!
That's definitely something few people knew. We've got 33 more facts for you to check out. So far, at least 66 different dog breeds have been shown in Bluey, showing that diversity is definitely one of the show's strengths, and we're sure many more will appear. Maybe they could make a character inspired by the mongrel. That would be really cool. Because of this diversity, most people have no idea, but there are several characters in Bluey who are not Australian. Certainly the most well-known of all are Mackenzie and his family, who in the story are from New Zealand and have a healthy rivalry with Australia in rugby, as we can see in the episode The Decider Ending. Additionally, other characters are also from other countries, such as Wendy and Judo, who are from England, and the Terriers and their mother are from Scotland and live in Australia. Other characters from other countries are the tourists who helped Jack's dad find Calypso's school in the episode Explorers, and they ask for directions from two dogs on the side of the road in a strawberry field. And one of them is from Argentina, and the other is a bulldog from France. Bluey's soundtrack is so good, but so good, that Ludo Studios, responsible for the show's production, decided to make the show's soundtracks available on music platforms on January 22, 2021. And the Bluey album was the most played in Australia for some time, a historic feat, as it's not a singer or band for the first time reaching the top of the music charts in the country. Additionally, the album also topped the charts in the United States in the same year among children's music productions according to Billboard, which is the world's most famous music chart. The mastermind behind all these musical masterpieces is musician Geoff Bush, who is currently the exclusive composer for the series. If you ever cried or had fun with any music during some intense moment of the show, this guy was responsible. In fact, the character Busker, the dog who is responsible for all the musical moments of the show, as we see in the episode Markets, or in the episode Dance Mode, among others, was inspired by Geoff's appearance and profession. And looking closely, they really do look alike. But it seems that besides being a professional musician, in the show, Busker also has other professions, like, for example, professional ceremony celebrator, as he is responsible for formalizing the vows between Frisky and Radley. Also, he was the DJ at the party that followed, so he probably got paid for his services twice. Pretty smart of him. Speaking of this character, if you enjoy Bluey's music, comment #Busker down below. Before the release of the episodes The Sign and Surprise, recently released, and the last ones of Season 3, the most watched episode in the history of the series was Sleepy Time, which surprisingly doesn't feature the protagonist as the main character, but rather her sister, Bingo. In fact, this was the highest rated episode of all of Bluey's, being rated a perfect 10 out of 10 on IMDb. But currently, it's tied with a rating of 9.8, the same rating as Cricket, the one with Rusty as the main character. In one of the moments of the episode, there's a scene that reinforces the theory that Chile had a baby before Bingo. This happens because Bingo comes from inside the Earth, the third planet from the Sun, and Bluey comes from Venus, the second planet. Meanwhile, Mercury, the first planet closest to the Sun, remains untouched. This would be a representation of the couple's lost little brother. Symbolism is heavily used in the series. According to fans, there's hidden symbolism in the episode Dragon, where we see a bit of Chile's past and her late mother. We see Bluey's mother as a child and her mother encouraging her to keep drawing. The symbolism would be exactly in the name of the episode, which, as we mentioned, is dragon, a term that is often used to refer to cancer, indicating that this could be the cause of the blue puppy's grandmother's death in the past. You've probably noticed, but it's still a curious fact that there's a clear intentional tendency for most of the names in the Healer family to start with the letter B, like Bluey, Bingo, and Bandit. And the names of the family members also have a very interesting reason. Regarding the series' protagonist, it's obvious that her name is directly related to the color of her fur, which is blue. But the character's name was also chosen by the series creator, Joe Brum, in honor of his childhood dog, who was also a blue healer named Bluey. Joe had another dog in his childhood named Rusty, who was a red Kelpie. In fact, originally, for that reason, the series would have as its protagonist the little cricket-playing puppy. And that's why Bluey and Rusty's designs are practically the same, with only some details like spots and colors changing. Another interesting curiosity is that in the first pilot episode made by the Bluey team in 2016, Rusty himself appears alongside Mackenzie as they appeared in the series before Chile and Bingo. The detail is that in this first pilot, because there were two, Bluey ends up talking to Mackenzie, but Rusty responds, indicating that maybe originally the character would have a different name in the animated series. Going back to talking about the names of the Heeler family, the protagonist's younger sister is named Bingo in homage to a movie that starred a very clever dog named Bingo. The movie is one of the pet classics of the 90s, and it was released in 1991, a time when Joe Brom was still a teenager. Just like Bluey's sister, the Bingo from the movie has a reddish fur, even though it's not a red Heeler breed. Another interesting fact is that Bandit's name, the girl's father, is due to the fact that the navy blue spot on his head forms a kind of mask in the style of Zorro, hence his name. Chile, on the other hand, has her name in reference to red peppers, mainly because the fur of Bluey's mom is even redder than Bingo's and Brandy's, who are the two characters that most resemble her. So, the name really suits the girl's mom. If you enjoy Bluey, subscribe to our channel now if you're not already subscribed, so you don't miss our next videos. Many people have no idea, but there are several references to Bluey within the Bluey series itself. One of them happens in the episode The Quiet Game, where we see the book that illustrates the episode Fruit Bat in the window of a bookstore that Bandit and the girls pass by. Another time we see self-reference within the series is in the episode The Sign, where we see both Bluey and Bingo painted on an electrical box by the roadside. We can see that the Heeler family's house is also painted on another wall of this same spot. The most interesting thing is that this same electrical box exists in real life and is painted exactly like the episode represents it. Now that's what I call fidelity. Some characters in the series have very interesting middle names. For example, in the episode Family Meeting, we find out that Bluey's middle name is Christine.
Bluey Christine Heeler.
In the episode Facey Talk, when Muffin refuses to share the phone with her sister, we see that Stripe, her father, calls her by her full name. And we find out that Muffin's cousin's middle name is Cupcake, which fits quite well with her first name. Speaking of Muffin, and remembering the reasons for the names of the characters, her sister Socks has a good reason to be named that way. If we look at the puppy's paw, we'll see that she has a thin stripe above the spot on her paws, which really looks like a sock when you look at it, which makes a lot of sense for the character's name. Since Bluey's world is just like ours, we can see that all the adult characters have professions. For example, from what we can see in the episode Octopus, in Frank's office, Chloe's father, we can deduce that he is an architect, since he has all the tools of that profession in that place. At the same time, we know that Rusty's father works in the Army and Chili works at Brisbane Airport security part-time. In addition, we know that Bandit works as an archaeologist, which fits quite well with the character's profile. And in fact, with all the dogs, after all, unearthing bones is something that both dogs and archaeologists can do. Currently, Bluey has 3 complete seasons, totaling 152 episodes. The interesting thing is that the first season was released in 2018, but the show only became a worldwide phenomenon from 2019, when it started to be distributed by the powerful Disney worldwide. And really, it's hard not to like this show because it's really good. Even though it's a kids show, it's loved by adults and teenagers too. We've got 2 incredible videos for you to check out now that our video is ending, so you can keep having fun here with us. Just click on the video you choose.